Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rechak, Wadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And as you can see in the title, they got you right where they want you. Look outside. And Lord willing to be a straight, quick to the point lesson. But this is the article that I came across the water from CNN. It says intense smoke fills NYC and forces code red in Philadelphia as millions from the East Coast to Canada suffer from Quebec's wildfires, which is what they're, blaming this on, the wildfires. But I mean, we have reasons to be, to just keep our eyes out. Now, I did happen to be, driving outside today, and I did see, it literally looked like that. All right, the skies are looking, dark, misty, almost pinkish. Okay, but one thing I also noticed was, looking around, you see people just walking about, moving about like everything is all good. That's where the they got you right where they want you aspect of this lesson. All right, that's what that was inspired by, because you know you look at people even on a regular day. You look at people, as they go whatever, and you can see a lot of people are just like almost zombies, right? But the fact that literally, if you even smell the scent from outside, you can tell like, yo, this thing doesn't smell right. It smells like chemicals. It smells like something burnt. Once again, they're blaming it on wildfires in Canada, but I mean, I don't know about all that. So with all this going on, I'm sure there are people today that have no idea what actually is happening. To them, it's just like, oh, it smells like smoke outside. Maybe somebody's having a BBQ or something like that. But that is exactly where they want the minds of the people to be, to not question things, because the average individual, the average US citizen has become so complacent to the point that they don't have I remember the elder apostle Tahar mentioned this one time. I forgot the term he used, but I think the example was, if you're on a plane and the plane is crashing, but nobody gets up and nobody panics, everybody's just going to stay in their seats while the plane crashes. I forgot the name of it. I don't know if it's complacency bias or something, but there's a certain term where unless they see somebody get up and say, yo, the plane is crashing, we gotta go, everybody's just gonna sit in their seat like everything is all sweet. And similarly, when things like this occur, the common sense individual looks around and says, hold on, something doesn't feel right, something doesn't look right. And I was talking to my brother about this. He hit me up yesterday. He was like, yo, the sky's looking crazy, like this, it's looking weird. Which at the time, I didn't really paid mind to it, until I looked outside. And then the uh the slight rain-ish that happened yesterday, it looked white. At first I thought it was hail, but come to find out it was just white drops of water. Okay. And so the point is, you have a lot of these individuals that, unless somebody comes and says, or they make some announcement saying, oh, this is an emergency, or this is a health whatever, stay inside, or I don't know, cover your face, or whatever the case is, people will go outside, their natural instincts telling them something doesn't smell right or something is not right, and they'll still keep going about like everything is all good. That is a very scary place to be in. But as the scriptures say, let's get that real quick. This is Isaiah 60 verse 2. It says, for behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. Okay, but the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. And applying this to the people here today, in the sense of the gross darkness being that ignorance, that sleep mindset. There a lot of people are being mind controlled and they don't even realize it. Meaning their minds have been primed and conditioned to accept a false reality, an artificial world in which nothing can go wrong, to the point that their government wouldn't be so sinister as to do some wild shit at their expense. So they would rather just ignore it, than to actually worry about it or even think about it. Now they're saying here, back to this article, that this is caused by Canadian wildfires. I have my doubts. Simply being, even if yeah, there are wildfires in Canada, cool, that's fine. But there's reason to think that there might be more to this, because this devil never comes out and tells you the straight story, the straight facts. You look at what happened with East Palestine, when I don't know why it was thought to be a good idea to what was that? Burn the chemicals so they get into the atmosphere. Okay, so I don't know, man. These devils, they never. We know how they operate. They always throw out a cover story while something, the real deal, is going on, and at the same time, that's how slick they are. The scriptures say the heart is deep. They cause an event, they give a cover story for it, and while people who have common sense are saying, yeah, this is BS, there's probably something more to it, and they're looking to find out what more there is to it, these devils at the same time are doing something else behind the scenes somewhere else. So they got people covered, right? They got the masses distracted with this event, believing the cover story. They got the somewhat woke people distracted trying to find out what is the real story behind it. Meanwhile, they behind the scenes somewhere doing something else. But whatever it is, they're getting ready to move, because now pieces are in place. Okay, pieces are in place. Foundational pieces are in place. This CBDC system, this digital currency, this transition from cash and the old monetary system to the new one, the priming of people's minds to get used to it. All of these things, these pieces are in place. Not to mention the who that with their new powers, which they're ready to test out. That's also in place. So now it's just a matter of what event do they want to go with. Anyway, let's read a little bit of this. See what we see in here. It says, from Maryland to the Canadian capital, a mammoth-sized cloud of smoke spewed by Quebec's wildfires has forced children to stay indoors, grounded flights in New York City, and left millions of residents at risk of breathing unhealthy air. And then they get sick, and then they call it a new thing, and blah 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 blah. It says, hey, we all here, brother. We all here. This says more than 75 million people in the eastern U.S. are under air quality alerts Wednesday due to the smoke, which made iconic skylines disappear behind wafting orange fumes. Which, what's it called? I had a thought I was about to say, but it escaped me at the moment, so it's all good. Maybe it'll come back. Oh, right. They said that the New York air quality index is at 400, which is the worst that it's ever been in New York history. Okay, and 400 is on the high end of the scale, meaning like red, cold red. Out of nowhere, right? See that right there? You can see good, moderate, sensitive, unhealthy, hazardous, and that's where you see right there. It says the heaviest smoke Wednesday is expected to hit the Northeast through the Mid-Atlantic and down to the Carolinas. Smoke conditions in those regions could last through at least Thursday, which, I mean, like I said, I don't put it past them to have chemicals up in this that they're having it go around, and then they just have a nice cover story, whatever the case is. But yeah, man, these devils they know what's going on. They are behind, these things. So, anyway, it says major, and I'm sure this will come and play a role at some later date. Even if come Thursday, everything quote unquote clears out. Oh, they took care of the fires in Canada, and everything is cleared out, and now you're good to go outside again. Try to sweep it under the rug, but guess what? You got things inside of you now. So it says major metro areas in Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut have air quality indexes above 150, which is considered unhealthy, according to the government website. And then it lists there the air quality, so on and so forth. It says yesterday, New Yorkers saw and smelled something that has never impacted us on this scale before. New York City Mayor Eric Adams said Wednesday. This is not the day to train for a marathon or to do an outside event with your children. Stay inside, which close windows and doors, and use air purifiers if you have them. Now, this is also an interesting thing to think about, which is how quickly can you get people to do these two things, which are slap masks on their faces and stay inside? Because this is a chemical smoke, whatever, over certain regions of the US. And that's really, if they wanted to keep people inside when they come with them climate change lockdowns, that's going to be on a much higher level, with much higher intensity, which they can easily come and claim that as a endemic. Okay, but the point it also is, you did have some people, that were concerned, in the sense that, yo, this looks crazy, it looks post-apocalyptic. Yeah, people saying, yo, when I look outside, it makes me feel weird and blah, 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 blah. And I'm talking about people that are in the world. And hearing and seeing these comments, you think to yourself, we know what's to come is going to be much worse, referring to Jacob's trouble. And so things like this are things we keep our eye on, but it's not something that bugs us out. We don't lose sleep over. We're not tweaking. We're not losing our minds. Because number one, we know much worse is to come. And number two, we know that the Lord has our backs. But to see people start to get afraid very quickly over these kinds of events, and to know how much worse it's going to get, you think in your mind, a lot of people are not even close to being mentally prepared for the time of Jacob's trouble. Jacob's trouble is going to be a hell, like a real life hell. Okay, not just mentally, physically, emotionally, all of that. But when some real serious hell breaks loose on a world scale, and just more different events keep happening, unexplainable, when I say people are going to lose it, you're going to be shocked at seeing how people react to these things, because there's going to be some real serious and scary times. Like, all joking aside, the scriptures themselves put emphasis on that. And when the scriptures put emphasis on something, it is not a joke. When you read in the book of Revelation, and you see a precept that says, and Satan was loose for a short season, or X, Y, and Z must rule for a short season. You're like, oh, that's damn near 1,000 years. That's damn near 500 years. How is that a short season? Right? Or in the book of Revelation, it says, these are the things which must surely come to pass. And you're like, we've been here for a minute. It didn't feel too short. But if that's what the scriptures describe as short, what do you think would be a long season? If the scriptures said that. And the reason I bring that out is to emphasize that what is considered a short season for us is a very long season. So if the scriptures themselves are saying that this is going to be a time unlike any other, this is going to be like some real serious shit, then you can only imagine how serious and bad the time of Jacob's trouble is going to be, when the Lord unleashes all his judgments with the zenith of fear and destruction. Anyway, hundreds of miles, Montgomery County Public Schools in Maryland canceled recess and all outdoor activities for Wednesday and Thursday due to the influx of smoke outside that could pose a health risk, the school district said. So yeah, I mean, just seeing things like this just makes you, envision, like, damn, how crazy is it actually going to be when all hell actually starts breaking loose? And even that aside, when Yahweh Shai comes back. And that's why it says every eye shall see him, because he will be the main center of attraction. When, I mean, everybody's going to be talking about it before, up until they see the missiles coming and they get, but all around the world, it's going to be what everybody's talking about. Yo, there's a giant UFO in the sky. Yo, there's UFOs flying. Yo, what's going on? And we're going to know exactly what's going on. So the times, and that's the thing. It's like all there is between now and then is time. That's literally it. It's just time. And time is constantly moving. So really, it's just a matter of time. And these things are going to happen. Whether you like them to, whether you believe it or not, it's going to happen. So it's best that you get on board. Now, this is the book of Sirach 5 and 15. It says, be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or small. So when things like this happen, sometimes they start off not looking, like that big of a deal, but these devils don't do anything, just to do it. Okay. So it's always good to look into these things and see, okay, what's actually going on? What are they saying is happening versus what is actually happening? Right. And you got to keep your mind open and obviously pray to Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai. Oh yeah, that's yep, we in that month too. That's an interesting point that was brought out. We in that Pride month. So that's interesting. This is Ariyah Chayel, Shalom. 2 Peter 3 and 8. But beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day. So yeah, I mean, that's a very good point, right? If one day to the Lord is 1,000 years to us, then that means that whatever the Lord says is amplified whenever we feel it or we deal with it. So if the Lord himself said he's going to unleash his wrath, his anger upon the earth, can you just imagine what that looks like? Look at the times, look at the time when the Lord flooded the whole earth. The time when he rained fire and brimstone upon Sodom and Gomorrah, when he had us get taken down by the Babylonians. There've been some pretty horrific and atrocious things that have happened in the world since the world was created. And at no point during those things was the Lord as angry as he's going to be in this time. So imagine that. Different near genocide events. Some pretty gruesome things that have happened that the Lord has caused to happen upon the face of the earth. Different plagues, different famines, different things that have killed lots of people. And when the Lord did those things, he wasn't as upset as he is now. So imagine, and that's why the scriptures say that this time of Jacob's trouble will be a time like never before, because judgment is going to come forth from a God that is pretty much at his angriest. Oh, shit. Lord have mercy. Indeed, Lord have mercy. We got here. Yep, this is Ariyah Chayal, Luke 21 and 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Yeah, people are going to lose their minds, man. The scriptures say that the remnant were affrighted and gave glory. So even the elect are going to be, afraid when they see the power, but the elect are not going to be afraid thinking, oh, Lord's going to kill me type shit, but afraid of witnessing the power of the Lord and seeing the workings of the Lord. Because lo, well, and we're of the elect, we're going to understand what is happening, why it's happening, and who's causing it. So to see the destruction at the Lord's hand, that's going to be a scary thing. But of course, we're going to give glory. But now imagine witnessing these things and not having a clue what is actually happening, what's going on. But at the same time, knowing that there are people who know what's going on, and you're seeing their reactions, and you're like imagine that. Like, here it is, you're at work, right? Or wherever you are. And however it goes down, shit just starts hitting the fan. And everybody sees it. And you know what's happening. And you give that reaction of, oh man, it has started. You just say something like that, that's going to make people even more afraid. Because the first thing, maybe they see some buildings collapsing, they see the power, the lights flickering, they start hearing some emergency sirens, they start hearing things on the news. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And then they're going to turn around and hear you talking about, oh shoot, it started. Oh man, it's over now. You say something like that. They're going to completely lose it. They're going to say, what has started? What is over? You can't elaborate? Because they're going to be thinking, yo, oh shit, like something is going on that I don't know about, but he knows about it and his reaction is not good at all. So whatever it is, please, start expounding on that. But hey, the scriptures say that at that time, we're not going to be saying nothing. So yeah, we're coming into some pretty serious times, man. Some very, very serious times. And you can't be airheaded walking around here. The scriptures say that um, redeeming the times because the days are evil. So walk circumspectly. You got a lot of people that are distracted right now, worrying about all different things in the world, except for the most important things right now concerning prophecy. And when prophecy comes in, it's gonna come in like Miley Cyrus on that wrecking ball. I came in like a wreck, and it's gonna wreck your life. So you keep playing around. All right, I'm gonna finish it off with this. This is Yahweh's warrior, Habakkuk 2:3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. And we're at that point. So may Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Babakusha speed up this destruction of this place and gird us with that strength and keep us safe, because yeah, it's gonna be one hell of a time. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha, Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.